Almost ready to start. Just gotta get us logged in. Okay. Should be good to go. Let's see. Well, first thing we're gonna start with, is by some miracle, I managed to get all of the Atma. This was such a nightmare to do. This was actually the worst thing the game has ever asked me to do. So, I'm gonna take this, and we're gonna turn it into the guy who upgrades our weapons. Allgord. Like always, we're gonna start kind of slow. Hello, Jay. Good to see you. Oh, that's sad. Yeah, that's a little disappointing to hear. The reason it got 22 on Rotten Tomatoes. I mean, movies from those guys have never done particularly well, critically. Bravura. Okay. 12 unique varieties of Atma. Yeah, you bet your ass. Count them. You've done well, my dear adventurer. He has no idea how hard this was. None at all. Pray, leave the rest to me. I require but a moment. Okay. It's done. True to my theory, the souls housed within the Atma have merged with your relic. Take it up once more, adventurer, and save the newfound power that courses through it. Relic Weapon Zenith has been reborn through the power of Atma. If you wish to have another Relic Weapon Zenith enhanced, you may do so. No, I'm never doing this again. Never. Bravura Atma. We're at item level 100. Does it not glow anymore? It doesn't glow! What are we doing? What? It used to glow! You took my glow from me. I hate this man. My stout assistant. I trust you are enjoying the Atma-infused relic. Now, while your newfound might may indeed be impressive, it's really not. What if I were to tell you that your weapon may grow even mightier still? My research leads me to believe that this is a distinct possibility. As before, if you would agree to be my subject, I promise that you will not be the worse for your part. What say you? Sure. I'm gonna regret saying yes to this. I knew I could count on you, my friend. Listen, then, to the theory I have recently formed. The legend tells that when the world lies upon the brink of destruction, brave souls who bear the light shall arise to banish the darkness. These heroes are known by myriad names, but in my native Radzat Han, they are called the Zodiac Braves. That's actually a name that comes up later on, too. That's interesting. That's what boss is that? Mustadio Bonanza? That's what he says. When you beat him. He says you're worthy of the title Zodiac Brave. And then he fucks off and doesn't show up again until the end of that raid series. Zodiac Braves were said to wield arms of unparalleled might that shone with the radiance of 1,000 stars. My ultimate objective, dear adventurer, is no less than the recreation of these legendary arms. The Havnarian tradition holds that the Zodiac Braves gathered light to their weapons by vanquishing formidable foes. It is my theory that the heroes were in fact absorbing souls. And now, through the use of Atma, your weapon has been transformed into something with the self-same ability. And it exists as a vessel for souls at present. However, this vessel holds but a small fraction of its capacity. I'm sorry. It just, like, clicked in my head that what we're doing is creating Auracite, which is the same thing that entire raid series revolves around, is the creation of Auracite. This is a nightmare. We shouldn't be doing this, actually. We're gonna piss off a demon locked away in a city really, really far away from here. If your weapon is to realize its potential, you must have it drink deep of the souls of slain foes. Of course, not every soul is created equal, and so it follows that not all creatures will serve our purpose. Indeed, the Zodiac Braves themselves were very particular as to which foes they chose to vanquish. In the interest of efficiency, you would do well to seek out adversaries of like nature. For this, you might refer to the Trials of the Braves, a collection of sacred texts that tell of the heroes' deeds. The books are common enough in Radzat Han, but having recently formed my theory, I did not think to bring them with me. Alas. Though, with trade flourishing between our lands, mayhap there's a local merchant dealing in imported wares who has them in stock. Yeah, okay. I remember reading about this step. I was not aware that it's something we're gonna have to do while the quest is active. This is another step I'm just going to be finishing, like, off-stream. Because, God, it takes forever. I also unlocked the sightseeing log and have been, like, slowly chipping away at it. The ARR sightseeing log is kind of a nightmare, though, so don't expect me to finish it, and I'm certainly not doing any of it on stream. Havnarian literature on heroes who wielded dazzling weapons. It's called the Trials of the Braves. Might be as I've got something what fits your description. Gujasana? Gujasana? How do you even say that? Jasana. I'm just gonna say Jasana. The ones who deals with tomes and the like. You'll find her near the north gate of the toll. Okay, so it'll let us complete the quest, and then we have to do all 12, like, I think it's 12 of them, and turn them in. Hold on. You! What are cutscenes that are locked behind this really long quest chain? Trials of the Braves, why, yes, we happen to have the tomes, but why would anyone be interested in moldy old things like... what I meant to say was they're extremely rare, and you aren't like to find them anywhere else in Eorzea. 9 books comprise a set, and each alone is worth a small fortune. But I like you, adventurers, so I'm willing to offer them at a discount. For the bargain price of 100 Allegan Tomestones of Poetics, you can be the proud owner of a piece of history, a book from the sacred trials of the Braves. Make no mistake anywhere else, and you'll easily pay twice that. When you're keen to make the exchange, just let me know. Yeah, so this is why I'm not going to be able to do a lot of this on stream. Because this process is going to take me a while. Series of objectives for enhancing your relic weapon Atma. They can be acquired by exchanging elegant tomestones with Chisana at Revenant's Toll. Each book will appear as a key item sections of your inventory. By vanquishing all the foes listed therein with your relic weapon Atma equipped, your weapon will undergo evolution. Upon fulfilling the objectives of the 9 books, your weapon will be ready to complete its evolution and become a relic weapon Animus, one step closer to one of the transcendent Zodiac weapons. Please note, you can only possess 1 book at any given time. Well, may I please buy my first one? Okay. Well, we can at least crack this one open, see what it looks like. Oh. Soflands, Ugamaro Mines, Fog Fens, Zonrock, Blue Fog, Cape Westwind, Sapsa Spawning Grounds, the Fog Fens. Do I have to do everything? I certainly hope not. Anyways, we'll worry about this later. Obviously right now. Hello, Robert, good to see you. Right now, you know, it'll just cut into stream time, so we're not going to bother. We are, however, going to bother finishing off the Bard quests right now. Tonight, we have a lot going on, so... But in terms of class quests, I actually don't have very much. Because I only really have had time to work on Monk, and I only have it at level 44. What are we on? 35? 40. So, really not much. You have done well, my young apprentice. In returning with choral attire, you have reaffirmed my faith in you. I see no further reason to withhold you from the existence of the final piece of the set, the piece that has brought us together. Listen well, Miku. When I put down my bow, I vowed to never again set foot in the Twelves Wood. That I now forsake my oath is for no other reason than to impart my knowledge to one who would succeed me. Lest you wonder why I should deem that so important, permit me to relate to you an event which brought about a great change in me. My most recent journey had taken me to Ul'dah, where I found oh my god, he's gonna ramble again. Where I found myself ambling through the marketplace one early morn. Browsing the wares on display, my eyes were met with a relic from my past, a piece of the choral attire that I had discarded decades before, countless moms away. I felt at once that it was not mere chance that it had reunited me with it, and I put forth the coin with nary a pause. Holding the garment in my hands, I resolved to find a worthy heir to my legacy. Alas, no sooner had I arrived in the Twelves Wood than I found myself mobbed by archers seeking to hone their skills. Amongst those who came, not a one showed the least interest in poetry and verse. Sorely discouraged and regretting my decision, I made to strike camp and leave the Twelves Wood once more, never to return. It was then that you appeared, young one. When you expressed your desire to learn song, I could scarce contain my joy. Looking back, I am fully convinced that our meeting had been preordained. Your coming has instilled me with the courage to attend that matter of which I spoke earlier. I am ready to make a pilgrimage to the scene of my regiment's demise. Ever since that fateful day, I have been haunted by visions of my fallen comrades, torment graven upon their bloodied faces. Lost to hope, but too craven to end my own life, I wandered the land aimlessly, seeking for a place to die, but the heavens denied me even that. Yet just when it seemed that despair would draw me wholly into its black abyss, never to emerge again, a melody resounded within me. It was then that I awakened to the power of song and found a new purpose in life. I embarked upon a journey to master such verses as would bestow peace upon the fallen, that I might lay the tortured souls of my comrades to rest. It has taken long years, but now I believe I can offer a requiem worthy of my comrades. To do so, however, I require one last favor of you, Miku. I would have you escort me to the west of the Observatorium in the Kurtha Central Highlands. It is there that we shall find the scene of my regiment's demise. Your presence kindles within me courage I had thought lost. I would have none other by my side as I undertake this pilgrimage, now as I enter the most daunting stage of my life. Once you arrive, I ask that you pay your respects with another bouquet of Nimia lilies. When my requiem is sung, you shall have the final piece of choral attire. Heed me, O puissant Alphic. Reverse the dance of the stars athwart the night sky, that we might ease the suffering of souls long departed. How many writers have worked on this game? Even on just the Japanese side, it's let alone localizations to other languages. It's funny, we actually know a lot of that information, and it is quite a few people. It is a lot of people. As far as the American side goes, we have kind of a lead localizer that kind of organizes the entire project and oversees it. And it's been the same guy for like over a decade at this point, that being Koji Fox, who people have opinions about him. People certainly have opinions about him. I'm not going to offer mine because I don't have any. And also, people know who wrote individual quest lines. I'm unsure of how that information, like, was given out, like, if the dev team has commented on it directly. I can tell you that so far, we haven't had any of the major, like, writers that people really love yet. There's kind of two main writers for the main scenario, and one of them is beloved, and the other one is known for killing off characters that the other one wrote. So we actually get to experience the first quest line, the person who wrote Shadowbringers wrote, as far as I'm aware. They might have written some other stuff in the game, but, like, their first major one. Like, on purpose, or... No one knows. No one knows. It's just, it's a pattern. You'll notice it, trust me. It's a pattern. Oh. Hello. Don't mind them, they're just mad at me for putting off their Beast Tribe quests. We're surrounded, and our foes seem disinclined to listen to parley. You must survive this, Miku. My soul is overburdened with the deaths of too many of my dear companions. Do you guys have any idea how excited I am to put down Bard and not play it until after we're done with Heavensward? Because, oh my god, I am so excited. Wow, everything here actually dies in one hit. It's because I'm wearing the Ironworks gear. I know it. That was pathetic. There wasn't even like a boss in that. It was just like a mob of enemies. Miku, without you, I would not be standing here this day. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Forgive me, my friends. I have kept you waiting over long. The Keeper be praised. I can wield a bow once more. It's fine. I just would have gotten a Vuln stack. It was you, young one, who helped me to remember how. I had known this for some time, but your presence is a salve for the wounds of my soul. Your coming has delivered me from the nightmares of my past. My worthy successor, to you I entrust the final piece of choral attire. Don it and go forth to fill the hearts of men with courage and purpose. Though the seasons may turn, bending a man's back and dimming his eye, so long as there is life, there is a reason to hope. Thank you, Miku, for showing me the truth of this. With the blood of my comrades upon my hands, to simply draw a breath racked me with such guilt as I could not bear, but the time for mourning is past. I shall take up the bow once more and lend what aid I can to the gods' quiver. In fighting for those who yet live, I do my fallen comrades the greatest honor. Miku does lead a lot of people to the light. Oh, speaking of, hello. Yet another melody resounds within you, I see, and there is not more I can impart to you. As equals, let us together give praise to life and all the joy that it brings. Heed me, O puissant Althic, turn thee over the hourglass of time that we might exult in the glory of all creation. In thine exalted name we sing, then the living may savor life and the departed know true peace. Speaking of Miku, oh, we're just finishing up right here. Okay. And thank you again, Miku. You have blessed this old fool with a gentle touch of salvation. Eorzea awaits. Go forth now and inspire endless hope and courage in the beauty of your songs. May we one day meet again. And now we have the level 50 ability for Bard. Battle voice. It's nothing to write home about. It's nothing crazy. Take the choral attire. I'm hoarding it to see if I want to go through the process of getting it dyeable. Okay. That finishes Bard completely. We can remove that from our list. Now, since we're kind of close by, I guess. Let's do Goldsmith. Now we've got to do Allguard Float again. Because we're going to finish off the Ixali quests. I know I've kept you all waiting for the end of these guys for like a month now. But yeah, speaking of Miku, there was there's news on that front. She's getting a full ass commander deck, which I have opinions about. Day to be remembered this is, at last, at long last. Complete Dezo Qualon we will. Rejoice, cry, soil self in excitement. I won't be doing that one. Matter of attaching and calibrating final components it is, then up into the sky before Nautilon fanatics arrive. Task for Miku, Cecil has. Final task to craft finishing component. Take these materials to Fallgourd Float, Miku must. Expect Miku's final work, or finest work, Cecil does. So, yeah, basically, she's getting a full 100 card commander deck from the Secret Layer service, where all of the cards are Miku themed. But because it's released in a Secret Layer, it's gonna be impossible to get. And they're gonna overcharge like crazy for it. It's gonna be probably like $100 or something. And then on top of that, there's going to be a really long queue to get it, like, to even be able to place an order, and they're going to run out of the product in, like, 20 minutes. Secret Layer, like, Lair. I don't know why they're called that. It's like the worst idea for releasing product I've ever heard in my entire life. It's real bad. Basically, it's like you can go online and order the cards, but they don't print enough for everyone to order them. So they get scalped to hell and back, and there's no way to guarantee like get your hands on them. It's just insane. Rather than just releasing it as like a product that goes into stores, I would buy it if I saw it on a store shelf. Honest to God. I just, makes me so angry. It makes me so angry because the cards look so good. Hello there, adventurer. Come now. I can hardly hear you. I said, hello there. I see. You're seeking to craft your final airship component. I recognize the materials, but would not dream of attempting the synthesis myself. I'm certain you will have no trouble, of course. Here are your materials back. The facility is yours. Ugh. Equipping these god-awful gloves for the last time. Okay. Here we go. One last craft. Oh, this is not hard. And we're done. Miku, quickly, now quickly, have that final component we must. Here you go. That does how does the company benefit from that? Not that I care on the first level, more like, why would they do this level? Yeah, no one knows. We really don't know why they keep doing that. Yes, exactly what we need this is. Final piece of Dezo Qualon. Chief Totola, terrible news there is. News? What news? Heard from our little bird in Nautilon we have. War balloon pilots have begun priming airstones, Tuzzle says. Priming airstones? That sounds ominous. Yes, seek to harness blessings of Garuda they do. Stones provide propulsion for balloons. Signal preparations for coming sortie this does. Sent details of assault Tuzzle has. Fly here to Ixali and destroy Dezoqualon Balloon Squadron will. Thick-skulled zealots obey goddess or face annihilation, they say. Shriveled and dead their souls are. The Ixali Line is a gathering of crafters, not warriors, and this camp is defenseless against attacks from the air. We're doomed, aren't we? Speak truth, little No Feathers does. Everything we've worked for, go up and smoke it, Will. Cease your screeching, fledgling. Need to think. Cripple this attack somehow we must. Miku, not so final was final task. Ask one more boon of Miku, says Elwood. Dangerous mission for one true warrior among us. Stop war balloons from ever taking off, Miku must. But swiftly now, swiftly. Once they are airborne, soon float beyond our reach they will. Make haste for Nautilon and Snowy Kurthis. Make contact with Tuzzle Totalon. Know how to sabotage assault, he will. Miku handles fanatics. Rest of Ixali 9 continue with preparations for maiden flight. Huddle and nest and wait to die, we will not. Where is that? Ah. Right at the entrance to the stronghold. That makes sense. It's funny, after this point, I don't think they ever do this stronghold thing ever again. It's like an ARR idea that kind of just died. Probably because they added flight, and flight trivializes these. Where? There you are. Featherless One is reinforcements promised by Ixali. Shh. Keep voice down, you must. Wish to attract attention of these vicious air skulls, we do not. Think your god's balloon squadron has not left ground. Flotation bladders are filled and ready, but take much time preparation of air stones does. Charged by power of vortex array stones are. Once stones are fully primed, load them onto balloons and take off, air skulls will. Before that happens, disable vortex array we must. No power means no propulsion. Simple enough, yes? Tools for sabotage Tuzzle has. Corrupted crystal shards. Insert these into turrets of vortex array and disperse the elemental wind currents they will. But begin with a primary turret you cannot. Disable secondary turrets first. Very important, delicate, and dangerous work. Disrupting flow of elemental power is. Look, Featherless One, see you this glowing device? One of 3 secondary vortex turrets it is. Try inserting shard, yes? Okay. Very good. Understand how it is done now, Featherless One does, yes? Within Nautilon, 2 more of these. 2 more of these you will find. Sabotage both remaining secondary devices and seek out primary turret. Once main turret is down, cease feeding power to Airstone's Vortex Array will. Then hurry back to Acatl and witness trial flight we can. Okay. I'm gonna hope I don't need to do any combat, because if I do, we die. But yeah, no one really knows why secret layers are done the way that they are. Because producing less product means Wizards gets less money. So, like, what? Okay. Summoner. Oh, I'm a little low on HP. Oh, this guy doesn't deal any damage. It's fine. Why do I have an extra like shard? Disable the primary vortex turret. Okay. DNA Sonic statue was presented like it was a massive deal. I don't understand why they did that at all. I really don't get it. Rod balloons or propulsion, Featherless One has. Since something is amiss, Tuzzle does. Port to Chief Total Lock, Tuzzle will. Remaining Nautilon to keep an eye on air skulls, Featherless One. No, better option there is. On top of Observatorium, observe both lands from Kurthus and Blackshroud at the same time, Featherless One can. Send small Featherless One to join you, Tuzzle will. Welcoming of sneaky Ixal at Tower, they are not, Squawk. Yeah, I really don't understand what that like DNA statue was about. Like, is there a reason for this? Like, there's no way in hell they're running low on merch ideas for Sonic the Hedgehog, right? It's Sonic. There's probably 50 other characters that have never gotten a statue before, right? I don't care if they have to do deep cuts. Someone would be excited for it. Is it like in here? Oh, there he is. Hi, Tataramu. Where have you been, Miku? Have you not heard? There's another one of those vortex turret devices hidden in a ravine in Nautilon. It would seem the Ixali air skulls were craftier than Tizzle gave them credit for. Let us continue to the roof and see what we can see. A good number of people would lose their minds if any member of the Freedom Fighters got merch. Oh my god. There was only one war balloon that managed to prime its airstone. But I'm afraid that all those zealots will that's all those zealots will need. Without ballistas or even archers, the Acatl 9 can do naught to prevent their fanatic kin from dropping explosive munitions right onto the camp. Ah, over there. It's heading south, towards the 12's wood. Blast and bother it all. I feel so helpless. Why must fate be so cruel? Bring balloon directly over unbelievers' dung heap. Smash and burn their little toy, we will. Chieftain, alone up here we are not. What? What's happening? Oh my god. Good gods, it's the Blackjack. I'd know my father's ship anywhere. Is that not the name of the ship from FF6? Father, what madness are you planning? That boy's whims will be the death of me. Oh my god. Huh? What did I tell you? Sturdy Skyways construction. That Beastman blimp never stood a chance. But please, Chairman, you endanger yourself and the company's future both. Ugh, think I'll be sick. Oh, pipe down, will you? I haven't felt this alive in years, and besides, Highwind Skyways is more than a competent successor. Let us arrange a meeting with him now, shall we? What of your appointments? The Syndicate awaits our arrival in Ulta, and following that, you have an engagement with Master Gege Ruju in Costa del Sol. Cancel them. All of them. But sir... He's using the signal lamp. Meet at Ixali camp. Do not be late. Ha! He could just use a Link Pro, but Father would insist on doing things the hard way. Come on, Miku, let us be off. Alright, back to Fallgourd Float, probably for the last time for a while. That's exciting. This is probably one of the final cutscenes. To featherless ones, this day belongs. From Tuzal about mid-air ramming, says Ulherd. Oh, the shadows didn't like that very much. Father. Coulson had a few words with me. I had thought myself too old for one of his lectures, but apparently I was wrong. I've heard that the Ixal are people who lost their wings, people whose greatest wish is to once more fly freely amongst the clouds, and that the invention of their balloons was a step towards reclaiming that which they once had. But perhaps we were the ones who truly lost the freedom of flight. Tataramu, when I look upon your face now, I'm reminded of the words I've not thought of in years. Spread your wings and soar. That was the slogan coined by your company's founder, by your grandfather. Stop. Split Sezzle's sides, you will. Have I said something amusing? Spread your wings and soar, you must. Dezo favorite saying it was. Your mentor said that? And it was not only your technology that Highwind Skyways borrowed, it was your philosophy as well. Chief Totolok, I wish to apologize for the disrespect I have shown you. Without the contributions of the Ixal, my company would not be where it is today. My father, Tatanora, owed his success to the knowledge he learned under the tutelage of Dezo. On behalf of Highwind Skyways, I extend my fullest gratitude to you and your people. Enough. Make Sezzle squirm in front of fledglings, Tatabaru will. Give thanks to Sezzle would. Brought dream within Icatl 9's grasp. Chairman's son has. Brought Icatl 9 within reach of Ayatlan. Tataramu, time to launch our bird into sky, yes? Yes, sir. Commencing trial flight preparations for the Dezo. All crew members begin pre-flight inspections. It's a beautiful vessel. My boy was hiding some truly revolutionary ideas in that obsessive head of his. Like grandfather, like grandson. I believe you are owed a debt of gratitude as well, adventurer, which was due in no small part to your actions that the dream of my son and his Ixali colleagues now stands to become reality. Dezel is watching even now, Sezzle thinks. Arrive on Paradise's doorstep soon enough we will. Spread our wings and soar we shall. My dear Miku, oh, the gratitude I would endlessly heap upon you. There are no words to express the joy I feel in this moment. But perhaps I am being premature. Why, the ship has yet to even leave the ground, but I must focus on the task at hand, and be sure every bolt is tightened and every knot secured. There is, in actual fact, one more request I would make of you. The absolute final one, I promise. This is a figurehead I've been working on. I'd like you to take the rest of the materials and craft the finishing component. It's only fitting that your craftsmanship binds the Dezo figurehead together. Here are the items that you need. Pray, present them to Sezzle and see what that we have blessings on his design. Or on this design. You. Missed my chance to empty bladder Miku, or missed chance to empty bladder Miku has, unless wish to miss inaugural flight test Miku does. Figurehead component materials, familiar design this is. When did Tachiramu learn to craft a traditional flying charm? Feathers of figurehead serve to remind Ixal of ancestors, and ward balloon against capricious nature of sky they do. Impressed with Tachiramu's foresight, Sezzle is. Have Sezzle's blessings to complete the figurehead Miku does. Crafting this component is a simple matter, yes? Be sure, then, to pour all Miku's skill into the task. Finish part and return to Tachiramu before final inspections are complete. Miku must. See figurehead proudly attached for test flight, Sezzle would. Okay, this is the final craft. I'm sure of it. The game has told it to me, and they will never lie, right? Oh. I didn't need to do all that. I can finish this in, like, 2 steps. Here you go. Thank you, this will do perfectly. I think I'm ready to entrust my life to the Dezo and aim for the highest skies. We are all but done with the last round of inspections. Should be safest if you were to withdraw several steps, only the gods know how this will unfold. Coddle 9 arrived at long last. Moment of truth has. To Ayatlan we fly. Ignite cerulean propulsion engine. Cerulean gas primed and ready. Engine fuel pumping. Air pressure and temperature favorable. Engine output is steady. Instrument readings within expected parameters. Extend the wings. Open the throttle. Release the moorings. Clear for takeoff. The Dezoqualon is away. Oh. Too low it flies. Something wrong there is. 'Tis the witch's shroud. Gods damn it, why now? Sudden difference in ethereal density above the crown of the trees can produce turbulent air currents. Rare phenomenon peculiar to the Black Shroud and the bane of even the most seasoned airship pilot. Keep her steady, Tataramu. Ride the wind. Don't fight against it. Extend wings to full trim. Release primary and tertiary... What was that? Ballasts? I don't know. I hit next too fast. Ugh, the ship won't turn. Come now, Dezoqualon. Is this all you have? Fly, damn you. We built you better than this. Ugh. Oh, we're just gonna all yell fly at the airship and hope that that works? Spotted Dezoqualon from Nadalon vantage point, Tizzle has. Indicate altitude of 5,000 yards, instruments do. Soar like a bird, it does. Soar like bird. I do not like the Ixal noises. I'm certain that meant something, but, you know, I have no idea what. Miku, the test flight was a complete success. It was a shaky start, but the Dezoqualon and I have both returned unharmed. And we reached our target altitude of 5,000 yalms. That's higher than any Eorzean airship has ever flown. A new aeronautic record. Unofficial, though it may be. Despite its impressive performance, however, the Dezoqualon still cannot achieve what Cecil dreams, to climb above and beyond the clouds and arrive at the legendary shores of Ayatlan. But we'll continue to improve and tweak our prototype, and one day we will catch a glimpse of that floating paradise. There is no record that cannot be broken. By the by, Miku, there's something I've been meaning to ask you for the longest time. I know why I am here, but whatever brought you to the Ixali Nine's camp? That's a good question. Your original mission was to respond to an Ixali threat. I do believe you've gone above and beyond somewhere quite far to the left of the call of duty. I dare say the Twin Adder officer who enlisted your services is by now rather alarmed at your prolonged absence. Perhaps you should report back to Gridania and put her mind at ease? Goodbye, Tataramu. See you probably in the wrap-up quests, which I don't know if we're doing tonight. We'll see how time works out. It's over here. And now that we've finished all of these up, we have one last quest to do. I'm gonna... Jesus Christ. I'm gonna ignore that person's name. Yes, Miku, what can I do for... Oh! The attack on Etat Spire! The captain mentioned that he'd sent you out to investigate further, but I'd completely forgotten you were still, that is to say, the Ixal appear to have abandoned their plans to assault our towers. Excellent work, adventurer. We must, however, remain alert and at the ready. The thought of those war balloons drifting over the city walls is one of our citizens' greatest fears. A nightmare that we must never allow to become reality. I shall likely have need of your services in the days to come, so pray keep your skills honed and your blades sharp. Did you hear the news, by the way? There was some excitement here in Gridania while you were off trampling in the underbrush. The son of the High Winds Skyways chairman Tatabaru suddenly vanished into thin air. Folk were crying foul play, though no body or blood was in evidence. He's already been found? Perhaps now things can be returned to normal. There we go. We have one final, set of quests to do for the Allied Society quests for a Realm Reborn. But we're not going to do it tonight, probably. We're going to work on that probably next week. We've already spent quite a lot of time working on these guys, so there's no weekly component to it, to my knowledge. So we're free to just plow through the whole quest line once we get around to it. Yeah, I have no idea what's in this. I've never seen it before. I do know what the reward is, and I don't know if I'd call it worth it necessarily, but it's a fine reward, I suppose. That being said, we are going to go to Fallgourd Float, and we're going to grab the mount that we just unlocked. And I don't remember if we have the, wind-up Ixal thing. Not that I'm going to use it. Vendor. There you are. We don't have it. And the Dire Wolf Whistle. Shit, they sell standard Spectrum die here for dirt cheap. Let's grab that. Well, first off, we can see the new minion, I suppose. There they are. I also got some additional ones out of some events. So I got that one out of an event and that one out of an event. This one is literally just a bucket that bounces around. And this one came from the new season event or seasonal event. I had to grab it off stream because the event was ending. So this one came from a Fate. It's pretty cute. And then this one came from a dungeon. We're gonna continue to use the wind-up self, though. And let's check out that new mount. Oh! Oh, this thing is freaky looking. I think this thing is diseased. Okay. Now, I am happy to report to everyone that we are leaving side quest territory for a little bit. Hair caught in my keyboard. We're leaving side quest territory for a little while to do more side quests. Okay, so like technically speaking, this is part of the main quest. You were required to do it before you're allowed to do the final quest of A Realm Reborn, and proceed into Heavensward. So it's not technically a side quest. That being said, it at the time it was added is a side quest. This is the most important thing Miku will have done for a while. So, welcome to our first raid series. Anyone who has played the game before knows exactly who I'm looking at, by the way. I just want to say that right now. This motherfucker is going to be haunting us forever. Do I know you? Unless I am very much mistaken, you are the famed adventurer who bested the Garlean Empire's general, are you not? The great Miku Hatsune herself? Amazing. And more than a little serendipitous. One might even call it fate. But I but recently received word of a truly unique opportunity, you see. An opportunity the likes of which none but one of your proven worth could take advantage. The reward, not else but the accumulated knowledge of a fallen civilization. The risk, a single misstep could cost you your life. But what is a little danger to a storied hero such as you? A woman with absolute confidence in her own abilities stands to profit handsomely from this venture. No, I crave no recompense for my part in bringing this opportunity to your attention. The historic discoveries you shall make will be reward enough, I assure you. If my words have fanned the flames of your curiosity, then I bid you seek a man by the name of Rambrose at St. Coinac's Find. It is he who stands at the doorway to untold marvels, awaiting the arrival of a champion bold enough to march across the threshold. I believe now is a good time to mention that if you are rusty on how A Realm Reborn ended, it would be maybe a good idea to go rewatch part of that stream at some point, to remind yourself of the characters that were involved within the walls of the Praetorium. Cigarette wife? Just all the freaks are out tonight. Just all of them. Hello, Rambrose. Why, if it isn't Hatsune Miku herself. I was not expecting such a celebrated guest. To what do I owe the honor of this visit? You were directed here, you say, by a man clad in foreign garb. Well, the opportunity he spoke of must surely refer to our latest anthropogeographical endeavor. Quite how he came to know of it is another matter. All knowledge of this project was supposed to be restricted to my organization. I would also be staring at the cigarette wife for 20 seconds, if only because her name is Cigarette Wife. But that is something for me to ponder in private. You are here now, and your services will, I am certain, prove invaluable. I must warn you, however, that the venture we have in mind is no simple excavation. An unprepared or incautious adventurer could very well find herself on an unplanned and unpleasant journey to Thal's solemn halls. Knowing this, do you still wish to lend us your cooperation? Sure. I rather thought you'd say that. Your courage is scarcely a secret. Now, the first... Miku, I thought it was you! Hello, Sid. What brings you to St. Coinax? Don't tell me the Alliance has sent you another realm-shaking, history-making mission to lay low an apparently insuperable foe, yes? No? I see you two are already acquainted. That as well. Master Garland, our intrepid hero here, caught wind of a forthcoming expedition and has kindly pledged to assist us. She has she? I'm glad to have you aboard, Miku. You don't have the faintest idea what you volunteered for, do you? Very well, let us begin at the beginning. The sons of Saint Koinak are tasked with unearthing the secrets of the long-fallen Allegan Empire, and this present endeavor aims to delve more deeply into into the civilization's mysteries than ever before. Ah, but I know that look. In the event that you feel ill-equipped to contribute much on the subject of Allegan archaeology, I invite you to recall your encounter with the Ultima weapon. That mechanical monstrosity represented a feat of engineering far beyond aught Garlemald can presently achieve. Nero Tolskeva simply awoke it. I mention this by way of a reminder that you have had what one might term extensive first-hand experience with a notable Allegan relic. In short, you're practically an archaeologist. Now, to the core of the matter. Here in Mordona, there stands an entire Allegan structure which we have yet to investigate. I speak, of course, of the Crystal Tower. After witnessing the destructive capabilities of the Ultima weapon, and the lesser moon Dalamud before it, it seems wise to treat any remnants from that era with the utmost caution. They must be analyzed, monitored, and, above all, kept from falling into the wrong hands. To put it plain, I have no wish to see another megalomaniacal legatus wield one of those weapons. It was this thought which first moved me to contact the Sons and propose that the tower be explored. For several millennia, the Crystal Tower remained hidden, buried deep in the underground, but like so many other things that were better left undisturbed, the structure was freed from its stony prison by the great upheaval which accompanied the coming of the Seventh Umbral Era. Now it stands, revealed in all its splendor, a gleaming spear of crystal pointed at the bosom of the heavens. I remember this. The opening of this questline is really annoying. We believe the tower to be the repository of much of the ancients' wisdom. Unfortunately, its entrance is guarded by formidable defenses, and we cannot so much as peep through the keyhole, much less set foot inside. These defenses take the form of statues, carved into the likeness of giant swordsmen, the 8 sentinels, as the Sons are wont to call them. This is the first barrier we must overcome. Why not simply fly over them in an airship, you ask? It's been tried before. Any vessel that ventures too close to the tower is blasted out of the air. We either destroy those statues or the front door is forever beyond our reach. My colleagues and I are ill-suited to negotiating such deadly hazards. Thus, if we are to gain access to the tower's secrets, we must needs employ the services of an experienced adventurer. It'll be difficult and dangerous, Miku, but I can think of no finer woman for the task. If I didn't know better, I'd say you had a taste for these deadly escapades. I look forward to working with you again. There is much and more to be done here before we can begin the expedition proper. Take some time to prepare yourself, and I shall explain the challenges that lie ahead. Our first objective is to reach the entrance to the Crystal Tower. As I previously mentioned, however, that'll prove no easy task. The entrance is guarded by powerful defense mechanisms, each utilizing one of the 4 elements: fire, water, wind, or earth. Anyone attempting to simply stroll past these unsleeping sentinels invites swift obliteration. Based on Master Garland's analysis, however, We are reasonably certain that those attacks of these lethal contraptions can be reflected using a crystal of the corresponding element. Naturally, these crystals must be of surpassing clarity, free of the slightest impurities, much like the flawless specimens used by the Beastmen in their primal summoning rituals. Ahem. Mayhap I shouldn't have said exactly like the specimens they use. Were there any other way, we would not ask this of you, but we need someone to enter the Beast Tribe strongholds and liberate their perfect crystals. For the moment, we would have you focus on obtaining 2 of the 4 crystals we require. Pray, make for Lenosha, where both the Sapsa spawning grounds and Ugamaro mines are located. You may be certain that the materials used in the Beastman's sacred rituals will be well defended. Whether you choose to venture there alone or with companions, I shall leave to your discretion. But whatever you do, please be careful. Off to Ugamaro again, my favorite. It's like tossing trash into them. My favorite area that smells like rotten eggs and piss. Ugamaro Mines. Yay! We'll be playing Scholar when we get inside. I'll just mention that. This will be a Scholar excursion for Miku. We'll be playing more Dragoon once we get to Heavensward. That'll be Miku's, like, main class for Heavensward, at least for the main story. I haven't decided what we're gonna do for, like, the raids and stuff, for Heavensward, but I'll figure it out when we get there. Crazy that I'm talking about Heavensward now. We're, like, almost there, honestly. We have, like, a couple more weird little side quest chains to do. We have to finish up our class quests and stuff. But, like, we're almost there. At some point, we are going to have to go ahead and unlock Greg and fight him. Greg and Ultros and Greg. All the other trials we have remaining. Odin as well, I believe. Yes, I listed Greg twice. No, I'm not accepting questions at this time. Ah! Was the music here always this whimsical? No, it's playing our mount music. All mounts have songs attached to them, and you can turn them on or off in the menu. And I recently turned that setting back on because I made progress with my raid group. And got a new mount that was like... that plays really good music. So... Miku doesn't have any fancy songs on mounts yet. Rest assured, we'll get there. We'll get there. For the most part, it just plays, like, overworld music and, like, some older FF themes, maybe. Like this one. Progress your efforts. Please take these from me before I eat them out of anger. So these are the famed flawless crystals of the beast tribes. I have seen countless specimens. From I know not how many excavations, but nothing to compare to these. Their purity is astounding. You have done well, Miku. With these in our possession, we lack only the crystals of fire and wind. The former lies in Zaharok, the war camp of the Amalja and Thanalan. The latter in Nadalan, the roost of the Ixal in the hills of Kurthus. You can expect them to be as closely guarded as the first two, if not more so. Still, I look forward to receiving word of your resounding success. Oh, boy. Yeah, generally what I do when I'm playing through with a new character with people, you know, either with people who have not seen like the game or the expansion I'm playing before, or, you know, for myself the first time, is I will keep the mount music off for my initial playthrough so I can ignore or I can enjoy the area themes. And everywhere, like every time after I finish the base expansion, I typically turn it back on just so I can enjoy some good music while I'm riding around. That being said, Miku doesn't have particularly good mount music yet, so eventually we'll be able to get boss. Oh my god, mounts with boss music. I tried to combine that all into one word. Don't look at me. Don't look at me. Don't look at me. Don't look at me. Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. I still don't have a carbuncle summoned. I should probably do that. There you are. Oh, that guy's wearing a mask. Never noticed that this questline gets an exclusive Ixal enemy. That, to my knowledge, never shows up ever again. Granted, because we don't really engage with the Ixal that often. The Ixal are a lot like the kobolds, whereas, like, you end up with a lot of dungeons and trials and stuff centered around the other guys. But the Ixal have one trial and one dungeon in the entire game. I guess the Amalja also don't really have very much, now that I think about it. They're just more notable because they make more of a direct appearance in the MSQ. The Ixal don't really get a chance to do that. Miku, it's good to see you. Tell me, were you able to obtain the remaining crystals? Yes, here you go. Wonderful. With all 4 crystals in hand, we're now ready to proceed to the next stage of preparation. I hope I did not give the impression we would be embarking on our journey to the Crystal Tower just yet. Alas, there's another step which must be completed ere we come to that. While the crystals are acquired are indeed flawless, they are of little use to us in their present form. If they are to reflect the elemental forces of the tower defenses, they must needs be cut and polished, a process which calls for a very particular set of materials. Curing them will be a challenge in itself, I fear. Needless to say, we will be requiring your services once again. Awesome, thanks. Now, let me pull up the list of quests. Wow, these are literally called the Crystal Tower quests. I kind of expected them to have, like, a different name. The flawless crystals you procured for us are to retain their elemental purity. During the shaping process, a very specific set of abrasive substances will be required. Well, I say substances, but one might, well, call them one substance, namely Aether Sand, which has but 4 elementally aspected varieties. Alas, Aether Sand is neither common nor cheap. Indeed, it's not unusual for the abrasive to exceed the value of the precious stones it is used to polish. Given the rarity of the materials in question, the Goldsmiths Guild in Ul'dah seemed like the likeliest place to purchase the quantity we require. When I contacted the guildmaster, however, I was informed that no Aether Sand was currently available, though I requested that word be sent as soon as new stock came in. I have yet to receive aught but apologies. I should mention that at this point that I placed an order in sometime before you procured the flawless crystals. I am well aware that acquiring Aether Sand is no small feat, and am not an impatient man, but I fear the more we delay our investigation, the greater the risk that the tower secrets may fall into the hands of other, less savory parties. The person who programmed that variant was very proud. That's why I wish to entrust you with the payment for our purchase and send you to speak directly with the Guildmaster Serendipity. Mayhap the presence of such a distinguished personage will spur the guild into action. At any rate, it is my hope that when next we meet, you will have found at least one of the 4 varieties of Aether Sand we require. Goldsmith Guild. Unfortunately for Serendipity, we aren't here to actually continue her questline. We'll get around to it eventually. This questline is good. Ah, Mr. Smiku, welcome, welcome. What brings you here, if I may ask? I fucking hate the sound of goldsmith hammers. I fucking hate them. I hate them so much. You're here on behalf of the Sons of St. Koinak. What fortunate timing. I was just about to contact Master Rambrose with the news that we finally managed to acquire a quantity of fire-aspected Aether Sand. I'm afraid it may be some time before we can supply the other 3 varieties, but you're welcome to settle accounts for that which we have now. Pray speak with Jamim over there. I do beg your pardon. It seems she's assisting some other customer. Ah! Come on, there must be something you can do. Without that sand, we'll have to rethink our whole design. I sympathize with your plight, sir, but as I explained, the Aether Sand in question is already spoken for. If you'd like to reserve the next shipment, then I would be happy to accept the funds you've offered as a partial payment. Partial? Are you saying it's not enough? I'm already stretching our research budget as it is. I suppose a man can do without a midday meal for a year or 2. Hi, Biggs. What you doing? Miku, it's been too long. What brings you here, then? Got an eye for something expensive, have you? That was a weird sound. Well, now, this is quite the money pouch. The sound of so many gil clinking together is strangely satisfying, is it not? Calming and yet invigorating at the same time. Oh no, you're here for the blooming Aether Sand, aren't you? Well, I can't deny the Allegan civilization's a subject worth researching. The chief said he was looking into something big, but I never thought to ask him what. Wedge and I have been too busy tinkering with a new airship design to think of much else. See, well, I say tinkering. Wrestling would be more like it. Still, after much wringing of hands and gnashing of teeth, we've managed to put together a prototype crystal-powered propulsion system. We got the idea for when we heard about how you lot had used a corrupted crystal aboard the Enterprise. As a matter of fact, anyway, to cut a long story short, our design calls for 4 varieties of Aether Sand. That's why I can't just relinquish my claim to this batch here, even to you, lass. How are we meant to usher in a brave new age of technological innovation if not by technologically innovating, eh? Ahem. While I hesitate to interrupt such impassioned speech, duty compels me to point out that this lady is a representative of the organization that reserved the Aether Sand in question, to mention nothing of the fact that her purse is considerably larger than yours. Oh, it's like that, is it? Alright, this batch is yours. I'll let you have it. But if you're going to take my sand, it's only fair that you grant me a role in this project of yours. I'll take that as a yes. It's not every day that you get a chance to experiment with the wonders of the ancients. With any luck, they'll inspire me to think up another technological innovation or 2. She vaguely gestured at the desk and a bag appeared. Please understand, making the Warrior of Light hold an object would be too hard. Now then, from what you've told me, I'm guessing you'll be needing the other 3 varieties of elementally aspected Aether Sand as well, right? Then rather than sitting on your rump and waiting for a shipment that may never come, I reckon your time would be better spent looking for the stuff yourself. And it just so happens I know a good place to start. There's said to be a peddler in northern Thanalan who very occasionally handles the earth-aspected variety of Aether Sand. Wedge is in the process of confirming the rumor as they speak. I know what you're thinking. When did my timid little friend decide he didn't need me to hold his hand anymore? The answer being, just the other day. Seems he's been inspired by a certain adventurer's heroic example. Thought he was joking when he volunteered to go to Thanalan without me. I just hope he manages to stay out of trouble. Heading out to Blue Fog, and you should find him poking about with his new bodyguard. Oh, did I not mention her? Wedge thought it might be wise to hire an adventurer to accompany him, just in case your heroic example turned out to be less inspiring than he first thought. Save your greetings. If you're looking for a hired blade, then you'll have to look elsewhere. After the day I've had, the only company I crave is the squat, silent type. The type that has a handle and holds no less than a pint of ale. You wish to hear my tale? I warn you, it's no stirring epic. But as you asked, my employer, a Lullafellan lad, wished to pay a visit to a peddler who deals in some manner of special sand. I forget what it was called, but it's apparently worth a small fortune. Anyway, when we arrived, the man claimed his stock had been stolen by bandits. Determined not to return empty-handed, we crept into the bandit stronghold and set about locating the stolen goods. Long story short, alarms were raised, rogues were awoken, and we fled in a blind panic. I was separated from my employer in the confusion and have not seen him since. Oh, a friend of yours, is he? Then you'd best be prepared for the worst. It's possible the poor sod may yet be lost in the old Amagina mithril mine, but I fear the bandits will have caught up with him by now. This questline is so fucking long. And most of it is, like, busy work. Hold on. We're on sanding it down still? Good God. Yeah, okay. They start to speed up after this, so less to worry about later. Motherfucker. Don't look at me. Don't touch me. Well, that worked out weirdly smoothly. Oh, there's an achievement for finishing this, this fate. That's funny that it's spawned right now. How could I be so stupid sneaking into a bandit's lair? It's just not the sort of thing I do, and now I'm gonna die for it. No, I need to calm down. I can do this. I can be brave. I'm gonna stand up. I'm gonna walk out of here. Here we go. I'm sorry. Please don't kill me. I promise I'll leave and never come back. Miku, is it really you? But how'd you find me? Can you smell fear? Actually, ignore that smell. Jesus Christ, Wedge. I expect you're wondering why I'm here. Well, I was just in the process of retrieving some stolen aether sand, which Biggs and I need for our research, as it happens. I concede, perhaps a touch foolish and very nearly fatal, but I did succeed in snatching the stuff before my bodyguard ran away, and several dozen bandits came piling after me with knives and axes, what looked very much like a plank with a rusty nail in it. Anyway, the important thing is that the stolen aether sand is right here in my oh dear, it must have fallen out while I was taking evasive maneuvers. Seems I won't be leaving this infernal place for a while yet. Actually, that aether sand is mine. I'm taking it. You'll find the aether sand in my stead? Oh, thank the gods. You're a true friend, Miku. I sure hope the search doesn't prove too troublesome. The bandits don't seem to care much for visitors. If I remember right, you really cannot clear this fight on your own. Yeah, it's this one. It's just not doable. That boss hits pretty damn hard. And Warrior is synced to a level that just, like, doesn't let it heal properly. So, like, even if we switch to Warrior, like, It also has a lot of HP. It's like a group boss. Come on. Lord of the Rusty Nail, huh? The Mo special. Is Wedge still in that fucking building? I'm gonna have to fucking thread the needle again. Are you kidding me? God damn it. Here's your damn sand. God, it's loud in here. Yes, that's it. I must return to the workshop at once and tell Biggs the wonderful news. What's that? You're also on a mission to collect Aether Sand. You're working with the chief. Treasure trove of Allegan knowledge, you say? I see. You should really be the one to have this. Biggs and I are far from exhausting all possible avenues of airship innovation, but it sounds as if our problem can't be solved by any other means. The expedition of yours sounds jolly interesting. I must say, I'm half inclined to join you. In fact, I think I will. Any venture worth the chief's time must be worth a look. Right. I'm more than ready to leave this awful place behind, and you should return to Mordona with that Aether Sand before there are any more, mishaps. Be sure to keep a close eye on your pockets, Miku. Would you believe me if I told you there's still another full quest in our way before we can get to the first raid? Because God, I wish I was fucking joking. Ah, Miku, you've returned. I take from your presence that you were successful in procuring us some Aether Sand. Tell me, what variety did you find? Take your goddamn sand, motherfucker. I see, 2 varieties. Well, that is more than one could possibly be expected, and 2 less than I had hoped you would say. Forgive my flippancy, you've done well, truly, and if all goes to plan, we need no longer fear death by fire or earth. Master Garland, if you'd be so kind as to prepare the relevant crystals. She'll set to work immediately. Truth be told, I've been looking forward to this. One does not encounter materials like this every day. Speaking of which, how in the 7 hells did you find them? Mistake me not, old friend. I know only too well how capable you are. But Aether Sand isn't something you simply find gathering dust at the back of a merchant's rare gem cabinet. You had help from Biggs and Wedge. Trust them to design a revolutionary new engine the moment I turn my back. How's a genius meant to rest on his laurels when his employees are so damnably inventive? And now they've determined to join us, have they? Typical. I jest, of course. It'll be good to have them around. Still, as a matter of professional pride, let's endeavor to procure the 2 remaining varieties of Aether Sand before they arrive, shall we? Tell me, Rambros, have we any information on where the water and wind aspected hypes might be hiding? Not as of yet, but I have made certain arrangements. We shall soon see if my efforts have borne fruit. Forgive me for observing, but you seem less than enthusiastic about the prospect. If there's a complication, I'd rather we discuss it now than risk just jeopardizing the expedition. Oh, mayhap a explanation is in order, but first let us savor the preliminary victory that Miku has won for our cause, if only for a moment. Translation, we're finishing the quest. Part of me feels like ARR doesn't actually end, the rest of the game exists, but you have to breach containment to find it. ARR is endless. It is fucking endless. God, you think this is bad? You need to see the main scenario quests that we've been putting off for like 6 months now? These things? God, you have no idea. Post-ARR MSQ is some of the most slow-paced, boring bullshit in the game. And it only starts to pick up in like patch like 2.5. Miku has made it to the midpoint of 2.1. So quite bad. It gets quite bad here. A Realm Reborn isn't the game's finest moments. I wouldn't call it bad, but it is not the game's finest moments. Yes, I must speak of the arrangements I made to acquire the 2 remaining varieties of Aether Sand. Some days ago, I asked the Charlie, acquaintance of mine, to travel to Gridania and there gather the necessary materials. Since the time, however, I have heard nary a whisper from him. To be frank, this lack of communication is not entirely uncharacteristic, but I cannot discount the possibility that something ill has befallen the man. Alas, we do not have the time to investigate his fate. As I have mentioned before, the more we delay our expedition, the more likely it is that the Crystal Tower's secrets will fall into the wrong hands. Therefore, I would entrust you with the same mission I assigned to my friend. Travel to the Black Shroud and seek out Parsmon Tret, the master of the markets in Gridania. If anyone knows where Aether Sand might be bought, it's he. Nightmare Quest. Honest to God, Nightmare Quest. Yeah, this one's Performance of the Ages. A 5-step quest. Making sure I know this ahead of time. Hello. Yes, I'm sorry. Did you say you wish to purchase Aether Sand? Forgive me, madam, but have you the faintest idea of the rarity of the material you seek? Why, I have not seen so much as a grain of Aether Sand at these markets for many a long year. I can tell you where one might be, or might mine the ore from which the water aspected variety of the abrasive is derived, but only a desperate fool would be willingly set foot in the place. You seem undeterred? Very well. Are you familiar with Earth's Gift? That is where the ore is to be found, in an area inhabited by particularly pernicious hog. Should you encounter the Batusk nightmare, you will know that you are in the right place, albeit at the wrong time. Farewell. Earth's Gift is also a place we're going to have to go back to in the near future. Fuck, I kind of meant to unlock that today. I'm remembering just now. I'm still going to focus on the Crystal Tower stuff, but I kind of meant to unlock that sooner rather than later. If only because, the trial it unlocks is really hard to get into, so I wanted us to be able to queue for it for a really long time, like over the course of an entire stream, perhaps, to see if it ever fills. We'll talk about it when we get there. It's very odd, the decisions they made with Earth's Fount. You were too late, adventurer, and not only for the entertainment. You will find no trace of the ore, which but recently lay here, nay, not so much as a speck. No, you will never spy me from there, for the time being at least. You will have to trust the evidence of your ears. Now stop squinting at the foliage and listen. As I told you, the water-blessed material you hope to find is gone, taken by me. Victory has made me magnanimous? Yes, okay. I could finally pronounce it. However, accordingly, I have decided to share its location, or the location of an alternative source of Aether Sand with you, the Wind Touch variety, to be specific. I trust I have your attention? Good. A band of Ixal in North Shroud keeps a quantity of the abrasive for the purpose of removing impurities from lesser crystals. Well, do you mean to dally here all day? Make haste, adventurer, before I snatch another prize from under your nose. This is to be a race. The Ixali logging grounds in the North Shroud shall be your destination. That is where the real amusement will begin. May the best man win. This is Clear Skies? I'm sorry, I was just unaware that the sky in Gridania is naturally green. Thank you, Eorzean weather map. Yeah, I honestly, okay, I'm just gonna have to, like, promise, and you guys are gonna have to believe me, that the later expansions are not as long as this. They just aren't. That being said, when we get to Stormblood, there's a nasty surprise waiting for us that is going to block our progress for, like, 3 months. So, you know, make of that what you will. No, the sky is actually blue where I'm from. Believe it or not. Well, sometimes. Honestly, most of the time it's gray, but, you know, whatever. Bravo, that was quite the show, adventurer. Why, the spectacle proved so enthralling that all thoughts of Aether Sand slipped my mind. Yeah. No, I'm not expanding on that until we get there. I appear to have fortified our little race, or forfeited our little race. Congratulations, the wind-touched abrasive is yours. And yet, having been treated to such memorable performance, I cannot help feeling the greater prize is mine. This inequity must not stand. I insist you accept a token of my appreciation. Payment for this entertainment will be waiting for you to the east, in a clearing within Proud Creek. Pray, retrieve the gift ere it is crushed beneath the iron feet of the Dullahans. We're almost there, I promise. I promise, we are almost to the raid. I know it doesn't seem like we are, but we are. Don't you fucking... Thank you, Chicken Nugget. Now, not what you were expecting. I took the liberty of refining the ore from Earth's gift into Aether Sand. Do keep it safe, adventurer. Lest you accuse me of playing games, you should know that the thought of relinquishing my prize never once crossed my mind, until I saw you in action. Such deeds must needs be rewarded. It is my vocation, you see, to record history as it is made by mortal men, and I much prefer to chronicle the accomplishments of the bold and the mighty. Thus, it is my fervent wish that you continue your career with the same courage and zeal you have shown today. We shall meet again, adventurer, and sooner than you may imagine. Oh my god, we're almost there. Oh my god, we're almost there. I just realized we still have the Mount Roulette on our actual, hotbar, and also high potions for some reason. Really been a while since I've switched to Summoner. And this. I don't need that. I moved all of those to the extra hotbar. Thank you very much. What news of your mission? Are we any closer to acquiring the remaining abrasives? You've brought both! Shall have Master Garland begin work on the crystals immediately. There, that should do the trick. Excellent work. We now possess all 4 of the fangs required to pierce the Crystal Tower's defenses. My compliments, Master Garland. Oh, it was a trifling matter, I assure you. Miku here is the one you should be thanking. Anyway, by my reckoning, there is nothing stopping us from striding it up to the Allegan's front door. You can't go without us, Chief. Biggs, Wedge, come to lend a hand, have you? Well, it's not every day you get a chance to study the wonders of the Allegan Empire, is it? Their technology makes Garlemalds look ancient. I appreciate your enthusiasm, lads. I really do. But we're not here to take this knowledge for ourselves. Twice in the last decade, the promise of unimaginable power has prompted men to meddle with the technology they do not understand, and the realm has been dragged onto the very brink of oblivion on both occasions. We shall not be so irresponsible as to risk another. Wedge, do you recall our company's creed? Yes, Chief. It's, freedom through technology. Exactly. Freedom. When we forsook our homeland, we swore that we would have no truck with machines that could be used to promote tyranny. That has not changed. Should you feel tempted to break your oath, remember this. The wonders of an all-knowing Allegan's empire could not save their civilization, and have damn near doomed ours. Twice. That is why we must explore the Crystal Tower and, if needs be, seal away its secrets. A compelling viewpoint, it is unyielding wills such as yours that have defined the course of history. Yeah, there he is! So you return at last. What, pray tell, has kept you so wholly unoccupied that you could not spare a moment to inform me of your progress or preservation? Why, the task you assigned to me, of course. Surely you have not forgotten about the Aether Sand. I tasked a passing adventurer with delivering it. A more capable courier I could not imagine. Greetings, adventurer. Did I not say we would meet again? I believe an introduction is in order. I am Graha Tia, one of the students of Baldesion. I look forward to joining you on your groundbreaking expedition. Graha Tia has been assigned to the project as an observer. I hope you will forgive him his eccentricities and welcome him as one of our own. So then, our fellowship is complete, and all stand ready to step into the unknown. 3 cheers for Noah! Noah? It's the name I've chosen for our little collective. Given our differing backgrounds, we cannot very well call ourselves the Sons of St. Koinak, can we? And we must have a memorable appellation if our venture is to leave its mark in the annals of history. I could claim that NOAA stands for Nominated Observers of Artifacts Historical, and so it does technically, but my true reason for choosing the name stems from the fact that it is shared by the vaunted Allegan Archmagus. An Archmagus? I like the sound of that. Very well. Now that the pressing matter of what to call ourselves has been settled, it is time we set forth to brave the outer defenses of the Crystal Tower. Is everyone ready to depart? Ready. So yes, we have encountered a fan favorite character. Thought I'd mention that. Graha Tia is very precious to a lot of people. I'll just leave it at that. I wouldn't look too deeply into him. He is very, very important to the game. In general, and we are not at his claim to fame, even remotely. So, and I'm not going to give any other details than that. Esteemed colleagues, the secrets of ancient Alec beckon. Let's not keep them waiting any longer. Adventurer, you and I will join the engineers at the Crystal Tower's main gateway, where we will endeavor to neutralize the structure's outer defenses. Rambros, meanwhile, will remain here and oversee the operation. Given my knowledge of Allegan history, it seems logical that I should lead the expedition itself, though I admit the role does not exactly befit my status as an observer. Still, we can but make use of the resources at hand. Assuming all are in agreement, let us proceed forthwith to the large, lopsided gate found to the southeast. Yeah, at some point, this raid series was not required, and then it became required later, leaving a lot of characters in a really weird limbo state where they had to stop everything they were doing and go do this to be able to progress with the game. I'll touch more on that, like how they did that while we're waiting for the queue. The Crystal Tower lies beyond this portal. Now comes the interesting part. Sid, you are the only one of our number who has ever crossed this threshold. I ask that you take lead for the present. I say, the energy radiating... Oh my god. The energy radiating from these statues is palpable. Lucky for us, that is. One might otherwise stroll past them. Feast your eyes on the elemental defenses which prompted our lengthy preparations. These sentinels prevent would-be intruders from advancing to within 20 yalms of the tower's inner reaches. No matter how swift they may be. Happily, the crystal fangs we took such pains to craft should spare us the inconvenience of instantaneous annihilation. Here, allow me to demonstrate. Chief, it's 2. Dangerous to allow anyone else to risk his life testing one? Quite right. I made the damn things. It's my job to see that they work. Should you not be stabbing that with the actual, like, sharp part? Everybody don't move. I've an inexplicable and yet massively compelling instinct that we must drop everything and go save this man. Success! I, for one, am convinced. Friends, ready your fangs. Yeah, why is he leading with his hand? It's gonna blow off all your fingers. The stab with the stabby part. What are they doing? The last one is yours, old friend. It seemed only right. And then Miku steps one step too far and is instantly vaporized. And that was Final Fantasy XIV. Thank you all for watching. We did it. So much for outer defenses. Indeed, the entrance to the tower is near at hand. My blood fairly sings with anticipation. Speaking of blood, I have a proposal for the next stage of the expedition. I suggest we wait here while Miku and a handpicked party of her adventuring companions enter the tower. Without us? I thought we came here to survey the entire structure. We did, and we will, but our investigations must proceed at a more measured pace. If the outside of the place is this well defended, can you imagine what awaits us on the inside? Only a true hero could reasonably hope to brave the hazards ahead and live to tell the tale. Miku here fits the description better than anyone I know. And it's not as if we shall be idle in her absence, while Miku and her companions are risking life and limb to beat us a path to the tower. We can set about analyzing this rubble for evidence of how its technologies function. Your knowledge of ancient lore will be invaluable in that endeavor, historian Graha Tia. Bah, do you ever tire of being right, old man? Ahem. Miku, as it seems I won't be accompanying you, allow me to at least provide some instruction. The maze that surrounds the base of the tower is known as the Labyrinth of the Ancients. During its initial foray, I suggest you concentrate on ridding the place of hostile elements. When you are reasonably certain the maze is secure, contact me via link shell and we shall join you post-haste. No matter what Master Garland says. Though, we would prefer if any relics you encounter remained intact. You have to leave to do whatever is... Wait. Though we would prefer if any relics you encounter remained intact, you have leave to do whatever it is necessary to secure the ingress to the upper levels of the tower. Fortune go with you, Miku. I don't know why I read that as a separate sentence. It was weird. Come on, give me the pop-up. Yes! If you haven't ever played it before, I should mention, this entire raid series is based off of the ending of Final Fantasy III. No, I cannot tell you why. Infamously, the final dungeon of Final Fantasy III is split into 4 parts. 3 of them are represented here, with the optional one having I'll say a cameo later on, but we'll talk about that when we get there. I just realized we're gonna have to fuck with the HUD so much. Oh no. Okay, well. First things first, we're switching to Scholar. Actually, first things first, I'm gonna go repair our gear, out in Mordona. So yeah, all of this is a big extended FF3 reference, minus the Allegan stuff. That's all FF14. So if you're curious what the initial actual, like, context these dungeons were created for, that's it. If you want to know more about these for some reason, you'd have to play FF3. Not a terrible game, just not like a great one. It's fine. HUD layout. Oh, good. They are actually already in the right spots. That's good. Okay. Let's go work on minor quests while we wait. This shouldn't take super long. This is the first Alliance raid in the entire game. Chances are we're going to snag the next Alliance raid roulette that is ready to go. So it's really not going to be too much, like, too much of a wait here. So yeah, in post Stormblood, the raid series went from, like, dubious canonicity, like, they're canon to you if you already did them. They went from that to directly canon, you have to do them. And they changed this one to being required. So any player who was past ARR but before Stormblood, or, like, before the end of Stormblood, gets blocked by the last quest of Stormblood and told to do the Alliance raids for this expansion. And every other Alliance, or every other character that has been made since and wasn't past a Realm Reborn by the time this released, now gets stopped at the end of a Realm Reborn. Only thing I know about FF3 is that it apparently has a lame main villain. It does. It has an incredibly lame main villain. I can talk about that in a moment. Context about that main villain is required a little bit for this. Miku, you couldn't have come at a better time. One of our number is taken ill, you see, and I need someone to handle the work assigned to him. Tell me, are you familiar with effervescent water? Alchemists use it to make a substance called natron, and bakers use natron for leavening, that is, raising dough. Without it, there'd be no ginger cookies, crumpets, blood currant tarts, as you may have gathered. I'm fond of an odd sweeter 3. Of course, effervescent water is good for more than just baking. A lot of miners ask for a drop of it in their drinks. Makes the stronger stuff that bit more refreshing. See, and let me tell you, there's nothing better to wash away the dust of a hard day's mining. But you didn't come here to hear my thoughts on food and drink. You came here to learn something about mining. And you shall, by procuring some effervescent water for me. The Alchemist Guild needs 15 bottles of the stuff, and urgently. They couldn't stress that enough. From what I can make out, they themselves are scrambling to fulfill an urgent order for natron from the Bismarck in Limsa. It's one of ARZ's finest restaurants, in case you didn't know. Anyway, you'd best get going. You'll need to work fast to make up for all the time I wasted chattering about sweets and grog. Oh, and you'll have to have the best luck mining around Busker and Scar over in the Black Shroud. I'll actually have the best luck mining on the market board. Yeah, the main villain of FF3, I'll talk about him a little bit, is this guy named Zondi. Spoilers for FF3 coming up. Zondi, it was one of 3 pupils of some elder sorcerer whose name I forgot. And all 3 of them were given gifts. And if I'm remembering correctly, the other 2 sorcerers, Une and Doga, received, like, crazy gifts that were, like, super cool. And Zonde was given mortality. He was given the ability to die. And this made him freak out and go on a centuries-long villain arc in which he flooded the entire world and killed, like, everyone. Eventually, you show up, fix everything, and murder him. And then immediately after murdering him, it turns out he was so evil that his spirit contacted the abyss from beyond, like some kind of ancient entity that's super evil. And so you get trapped in oh, I do not want 99 of these. I need 15 of these. Okay. And while he was in contact with the abyss, he made like some deal with some demon creature, and you have to kill the demon creature as well. And that's kind of the context. It is really just, and you beat Zondi, now fight the real villain. And it's a character that's never been mentioned before, ever, even once. Really lame. 15 bottles of effervescent water, quick as you can. Here you go. I have 99 of them, actually. Please take them all. Right in the nick of time. My thanks, Miku. I'll see to it that these are sent over immediately. But before I do, I should probably expand a bit on what we were talking about earlier. Specifically, the part about mixing spirits with effervescent water. See, I wasn't lying when I told you a lot of folk find the combination refreshing. It is refreshing. In fact, adding a bit of the bubbly water makes the stuff go down so easily, you'd have to be careful not to drink yourself under the table. I say this just partly for your own good, and partly because the lad whose task you just took care of wasn't careful. Daft Sod threw up right where you're standing. Oh, but it didn't end there. Then he slipped on his own puke and split his head open on the bar on his way down. Suffice it to say, he won't be working for a while. Thankfully, you took up the slack and all is well with the guild once more. I could do with a few more like you, Miku. Keep up the good work, you hear? Zondi? It's Xande, Zondi. Zonde, I think is how I also hear it pronounced. Unfortunately for us, he is a character in this game, but he's not really featured in any quest lines with voice acting, so... Ah, Miku, just the person. I was about to send for you. There's an order I want your help with, see? It comes from the Gladiators Guild, via the Vice Foreman himself. You recall the time I had you procure obsidian? Well, this time I need you to find Wyvern obsidian, which is a good deal rarer. How rare, you ask? Let's just say I've handled the stuff no more than a dozen times in my life. And yes, it'll be a bugger to find, but don't worry, you won't be working alone. It just so happens that one of your guildmates has volunteered for the task. And considering how difficult it's like to be, I've decided to have the two of you work together. Your partner's name is Wide Gully, and he's waiting for you on the far side of the stage. Go over and introduce yourself. He'll tell you everything you need to know. Run along now. Oh, and good luck. What level is this one? Is this 30? Yeah, level 30. He exists here, eh? Did the soul find another demon to make a pact with, or is this before FF3? This game makes a lot of references to past FFs, and it does so always in a way where they are being incorporated into the lore of this game. They don't bring with them the baggage of the previous game. They just bring the fact that they are who they are. And they're brand new for this game. For example, way later on, we will encounter a Golbez, and he is entirely, as a character, original to FF14, just made to be Golbez from FF4. In visuals and in, like, a lot of the themes and stuff that's tackled by his storyline. And that's, like, just one example of a million. There's fucking 5 million of these. You must be Miku, the Guildmaster's pet. I have heard much and more about you. They tell me you've got talent. Trouble is, you're an adventurer, and anyone with an ounce of sense knows adventurers can't be trusted. Adalberta's sorely mistaken if she thinks you're any different. Likewise, she's sorely mistaken if she thinks I'm going to help you find 15 chunks of Wyvern obsidian. I'd sooner fall on my own pickaxe than see you take the credit for my hard work. That said, I'm not about to risk getting kicked out of the guild for disobeying a direct order. Luckily, there's other ways to handle this. What say you to a contest? It's nigh on as good as cooperating, and so long as the client gets what he wants, Adalberta won't have the cause to complain, will she? So here's the deal. We mine for Wyvern obsidian separately, and whoever brings back the better haul, that is to say, the purer haul, is the winner. Simple, yes? Now, we both know I've been doing this a lot longer than you, and I won't have it said that I trounced a novice. So, to make this more interesting, I'll give you as long as you want, for all the good it'll do you. Oh, and you can even go and talk to the client if you'd like. His name is Roger, and you'll find him outside the Gladiators Guild. Might be, as you can tell, he can tell you something useful. Yeah, the useful thing is I'm going to buy it off the market board. Why are you making me talk to him? Zelda approach. Everyone just exists across time and space because they do. Yeah, basically, yeah. It's just like, FF14 is its own self-contained world, and within that world, a lot of pre-existing FF concepts just kind of exist here. And internally, Square Enix considers this an onboarding game. They consider this to be the game that brings people into Final Fantasy, that gets them to do things like purchase the other ones that they have an interest in. Like, you'll see Zonde here, and you'll be like, oh my god, wait a minute, I know, I should check out FF3, and then you play FF3, and you get really upset at the final dungeon because it sucks. Hi, I'm Roger, what can I do for you? Got yourself into a contest with Wide Gully, you say. Oof, I don't envy you, miss. I don't know much about mining myself, but I do know that Wide Gully is good at his job. Can't be Deep Canyon's son without knowing a thing or two about being a miner. Oh, he's a Nepo baby! Anyway, I have no idea whose idea this contest of yours was, but if it means I get goods of better quality, you won't hear any complaints from me. Now, you wanted to ask about Wyvern Obsidian, did you? Well, I'll tell you what little I know, but remember, I'm a gladiator, not a miner. Saying that I haven't graced the Blood Sands for a while, took a nasty blow to the knee, you see. Rest assured, the fellow that dealt it got far worse. Anyway, I meant it already to make my return, and I wanted to be glorious, something that'll be sung by the bards. So, I thought a shiny new sword was in order, and there's nothing like plumed oak, makwa... Nope, I can't pronounce that. I don't... Makwahuitl? Makwahuitl? I don't know. To draw a crowd. Why? Because it doesn't have a single piece of metal in it. Makwahuime don't, as a rule, not a speck of metal, but you wield it right, the shards of Wyvern Obsidian embedded in the blade will cut armor like a hot knife through butter. But I'm rambling. You wanted to know where to find the stuff, not what I plan to do with it. I vaguely recall a conversation I had with a miner a while back. We're talking about it. Oh, did I mention that's what you call more than one? Well, it is. Where was I? Oh, yes, we were chatting about it, and the fellow said that he'd previously dug up Wyvern Obsidian around Thal's Respite in eastern Thanalan. That's all I know. Hope it helps. Yep, Thal's Respite in eastern Thanalan. Uh-huh. Sapphire Avenue Exchange. Anyone selling a stack of... Okay, they're selling it for way too much. There you are. Here you go. If I was immortal, I probably would be wanting to be given the gift of mortality at some point. Yeah, probably. Oh, managed to scrape together the required amount, did you? Well then, let's see your sorry specimens for the sake of formality. Plugger, me. They're black as night. This is some of the purest stuff I've ever seen. How in the seven hells did you find these? You, a mere adventurer. I'm loath to admit it, but your obsidian's superior to mine. Well, it might be you've bested me on quality, but there's more to being a miner than that. You need to be able to give the client what he wants, when he wants it. In other words, you need speed. Without it, quality counts for naught. I was by far the faster man, so we'll call it a draw. Shut the fuck up. But mark my words, I'll best you next time, both on speed and quality. I'll see to it the obsidian gets to Roger. In the meantime, why don't you go and tell the guildmaster all about it? I care not what you say. To avoid the whole psychological torment thing. Yeah. Ah, Miku, how'd you find working with Wide Gully? What? He challenged you to a contest? As if the task weren't difficult enough. I'm terribly sorry, Miku. That was hardly fair of him. He's a born miner. What's that? You beat him? Truly? But he's one of the guild's very best. Well done. Yeah, he claimed he was faster, was he? Well, speed is important, but White Gully set the rules, and by those rules, you won fair and square. You've come a long way, Miku, a long way. You make me proud to be your mentor. At the same time, though, I must admit that the miner in me can't help feeling some envy. But it's that which keeps a veteran like me on my toes, lights a fire in my belly. And I wouldn't have it any other way. Keep doing what you're doing, Miku, and I'll do my damnedest to keep up. We don't need these. Wait a minute. I think we need this. Level 30? Level 27. We can throw that out. Okay. Can't believe we're still not in. I queued as healer and we're still not in. Good to see you again, Miku. You'll be pleased to know that Roger was deeply impressed with the obsidian you got for him. More so than that, he was impressed that you bested Wide Gully in the contest. 'Tis no ordinary miner who can outdo the Vice Foreman's own son. Lest you wonder, I knew full well who Wide Gully's father was when I tried to pair you both up. I also know for a fact he has his sights set on my position. There's some who whisper in my ear that I should expel him from the guild, but I cannot help but think that short-sighted. After all, it's hardly a crime to want to be guildmaster. Oh my god! So our Wide Gully is tremendously gifted miner. I'll tell you this because you need to speak with him again for your next task. Received an order for 20 raw amethysts. You see, none among us know more about the stone than he does. I realize you didn't get off on the right foot with Wide Gully, but the two of you are guildmates, and guildmates help each other no matter their differences. Okay, we'll be back to this eventually. What, the level 35 quest? Yeah. We're getting there, we're getting there. Now, I'm going to tell you exactly what is going to happen. We are going to load into Labyrinth. We're not. Okay. We're going to load into Labyrinth, and the second people are able to see that we're in Labyrinth of the Ancients, part of the party is going to disband and leave. Because it happens every fucking time. Okay, let's talk about Alliance raids real fast. So this is tackled by 3 parties. Generally speaking, unless you are directly targeting someone, if they're not in your party, they are unaffected by things you're doing. So the other alliances are kind of just here to also be dealing damage. You can still do things like targeted rezzing in the other alliances. But that's like about it. That's about all you can do. This is tackled with 3 tanks, 6 healers, and 15 DPS. So 1 tank per party. It's kind of a weird setup. It looks really strange. Anyways, Labyrinth of the Ancients is also infamously complete dog shit. None of the fights in this work the way that they should, except for the final one. Ow. And we're gonna be fighting some just trash mobs for a little bit. I will say, as a lore note, this place is crawling with void sense, so that should tell you something about what we're walking into. First boss coming up. All Alliance raids have 4 bosses in them. They're an entire raid tier tackled all at once. And again, none of them work right here. None of them. Yeah, okay, here's our first boss, the Bone Dragon. Time to see if our tanks know what they're doing. Yes, they do. So, these guys spawn, these, platinals. When the dragon dies, these guys try to rush it, and every time they get into the dragon, they deal raid-wide damage to everybody. So the goal is to bring the dragon, like, away from them. The room also floods with poison while we're doing this, so... The thing that doesn't work right here is that, it's, like, almost impossible to keep track of what the, platinals are actually doing, because they either charge so quickly forward or die so suddenly that you can't actually tell what just happened most of the time. These guys being here means that we're at the end. There we go. The gear in here is all terrible. What item levels is it? 80, yeah, really bad. Which alliance are we? We're in A. Okay. This upcoming area is kind of a side, like, mini-boss thing. And this one is, like, really bad. So, the way that this works is everyone has to stand on a... Like, 4 people have to stand on a pressure plate, and then 4 people go forward and fight the boss. This one is not one of the 4 bosses, so... This means that 4 people are doing nothing for this entire fight. And people ready check before they walk in here, because if someone early pulls and people can't get into the room, they get automatically placed into the center lane by the game. And if there aren't enough people to hold down the pressure button, like the pressure switch, in a lane, the Atomoses notice that and immediately send things to kill people. They start instantly spawning, like, enemies that are way stronger for anyone to kill, and they wipe the raid. Okay, and now that we just finished with a boss fight where literally half the raid doesn't do anything, you want to know what this is immediately followed up by? A boss fight where half the raid does not do anything. Thanatos here is just abysmal dog shit. We're in Alliance A, which means we're lucky we get to attack him. You can only attack him while you have this buff. And if everyone is DPSing right, then that does not happen for everyone. So Alliance C actually just like stands around and maybe hits the ads if they feel like it. This boss is such dog shit. It's so bad. Like, see, even if our buff fell off right now, we dealt 50% of its health bar. %40 of its health bar. Or, 60, 70. 70% of its health bar is just Alliance A. It's about to get passed to Alliance B. And then he dies. Alliance C doesn't do anything during this fight. Welcome to the Labyrinth of the Ancients. Where the whole thing is so old that it just doesn't work anymore. You would think they would take more care to preserve content that is required for MSQ, but it seems to have actually had the opposite effect, where they've actually stripped it down over the years to make it so easy because everyone needs to do it. Ah, the relaxing hot bath they give us. This one is kind of a mob pull. Everyone has to fight their own Visago here, and when we kill all of them, we can destroy the bomb in the middle. Guys will be floating towards the bomb that we need to stop, and if enough guys end up getting, like, touching the bomb, he explodes and kills everyone. Which, yes, I have had that happen before, so... Yeah, it's this guy. It's the Allegan Napalm dude that we have to kill. It's also technically the Allegan balloon. I don't really know what the balloons do, though. Alright, our Visago went down. Take out this one. That's it. This next boss is another example of everything has been stripped away from them. But it's also a really iconic fight from the game. So behold the King Behemoth. He's God, he's been stripped down over the years. It used to be that players had to stand at these consoles and activate them in order to stop the electric floor. But nobody gives a shit about the electric floor anymore because it doesn't really deal much damage. His only remaining mechanic these days is this, the Ecliptic Meteor, where you have to stand behind a rock. This always gets people. This always gets someone. Cardinal rule of ARR, never trust anything that is within a box's health bar. Or, not health bar, hitbox. Sometimes it just kills you anyways. Why did it leave the markers there during the cutscene? Yeah, so our last boss here is, just like a guy. It's just like a dude, Legathon. I don't remember what the actual boss of Labyrinth of the Ancients is, to be totally honest. Most of this dungeon is memory hold for me because I hated it so much. Sorry, I just spotted the name Rosefield in the crowd and I was having a war flashback. Oh, this is not... Oh, maybe we'll get it. So this guy does these. He does Ancient Flares. Anyone caught in the middle dies, and if not enough people activate the buttons, we all die. Yes, I've seen it happen. It actually happened to me recently, so... Sometimes you can get him in 2, other times you can't. It just depends on what he's doing. This is... Yeah, we're gonna get him. Okay. Only one Ancient Flare. Awesome. I'll get some tank. And there's, like, nothing to get in here, so... Ho there, Miku. Why is everyone calling me a hoe? Very impressive, I must say. Your name shall be writ large in the volumes that are sure to be penned on this historic expedition. The scale of this structure defies comprehension. Someone plainly thought bigger was better. According to the findings of my Valdesian colleagues, the Crystal Tower was constructed to collect and store the endless energies of the sun, a characteristically ambitious undertaking. Now, what are the tower's inner defenses? Judging by your haggard expression, clearing out the labyrinth was no small feat. A giant of a man wielding a shimmering scimitar, you say? Yes, that will have been Phlegathon, not Acheron, Phlegathon. He was a hero of the Allegan Revolution. And you gleaned that from what, exactly? His choice of weapon? Well, I am a historian, and I have a certain, shall we say, affinity for the lore of the Allegan Empire. It is, of course, all knowledge gleaned from musty scrolls and tomes. The ancient texts claim that the Crystal Tower is defended by the champions of Eld, resurrected and augmented through the Allegan's extraordinary technology. I'm sorry, and you didn't think to tell me that before I went in? Thanks, Graha. Chief, you need to see this. Well, well, there it is, the foot of the tower. What surprises do you have in store for us, I wonder? That is clearly like a JPEG. Awesome. I can't tell you how glad I am to have you with us on this little jaunt, old friend. Had you not beaten a path through that maze, I very much doubt we'd be standing here now. Well, we have much to discuss and digest. Let us retire to St. Coinac's Find for the present, and there plan our next step. Lest there be any doubt, our expedition has some way to go yet. It's unfortunate that queuing for that took like 20 minutes. We'll have to save the other two raids for next time. Can I fly in here? I can't. That's unfortunate. Okay, so good of you to join us, Miku. Our meeting would be dull indeed without a full account of your experiences in the Labyrinth. Take a moment to collect yourself, and when you're ready, we shall debate how best to proceed. Hold on, let me check. Okay. Okay, we're gonna accept this quest. We're gonna have it in our quest log, and then we're going to do the rest of it next time. I want a chance to finish up the Amethyst Are Forever quest as well. The Fellowship of Noah being accounted for, it's time this assembly was called to order. Brambros will be presiding over the meeting. If you would be so kind as to inform him of your readiness to proceed. Wow, it's ready to be completed immediately. That's funny. We do not have time for the next raid, so we'll be doing that next time. Here. Honestly, this might give... It's weird. We might have enough time to finish the minor quests, but we definitely don't have enough time to unlock the Crystal Tower, so... Strolling on over, bold as you please. After humiliating me the other day, you've got some gall, adventurer. I know why you're here. I heard about the order for raw amethyst, too. No doubt you're wondering where to find them, and you're after my hard-earned knowledge. Well, I'll gladly share it with you. Why so obliging, you ask? Because the knowledge ain't gonna be worth a damn to you, that's why. You'll find all the raw amethyst you can carry, near about Hopeseed Pond, over in the Central Shroud. The problem has to do with the beasties inhabiting the place, more not else. Lindworms, stropers, sprites. I hear tell even the jaded Jody's made her home there. Even Raoban would have trouble taking a stroll through that neck of the woods, let alone common adventurer playing it minor. Don't expect to see you back here with 20 hairs on your head, much less 20 of them stones. I'm just gonna kill him. I think I'll just kill him. Raw amethyst. Look at that, 15. 15 that I'm gonna have to resell now. Because I thought this was 15, it's 20. They want 20. Do I have to deliver it to him? Hello. See if I here you go. Take these off my hands, please. Bugger me, you mined these amethysts? I can't believe you made it past all them nasty creatures. Though it might be as it's time I stop being so surprised you goddamn adventurers come through more often than I care to admit. Any road, it's one thing to find the amethyst, but you even know aught about them, their properties, what they represent? Thought not. Here's a free lesson. I don't want it. I don't want the free lesson. Amethysts are lightning aspected gemstones, prized embodiments of calmness, decisiveness, and intuition, and coming back with such a large haul of them, it seemed you got all these things. Might have been hasty to pass judgment, though the more I see you work, the more I see why the Guildmaster is so fond of you. I never imagined an adventurer would give me my toughest competition, and I was learned better than that, to take every adversary earnestly. Seems I'll have to redouble my efforts if I'm to secure my place as the best in the business. Don't you worry about the precious amethysts you bought, I'll see them safe to the guild stores. I look forward to our next contest, adventurer. That's when I'll drive the pickaxe home that I'm the better miner. Yeah, give me the gill. I need the gill. Holy shit, do I need the gill. Have you heard, Miku? The largest tally has you tied with Wide Gully as the guild's highest earner. You started as a novice with a rusty pickaxe. Now you're one of our stoutest pillars. You've truly come a long way, my friend. If I'm your highest earner, why am I so poor? I find myself turning to you more often for difficult orders, the bulk of which have been coming from Deep Canyon. As you should well know from those past expeditions, these tend to entail going to dangerous locales. I'm loath to put my people in harm's way, but the concern owns us. Owns us. In truth, if not in name. It'd be ill done to refuse their request, no matter how onerous. But just this once, I've a mind to do just that. I can't in good conscience order you to a place like Kurthus, merely for the sake of 20 pieces of jade. Aye, that's what Deep Canyon is requesting this time. If I have to send someone, you're rightly proving yourself the best candidate, but you should understand how risky the endeavor. I think long and hard before you do something we both regret. While you're mulling it over, you should let you know that Wide Gully wanted a word. You'll find him in the usual place. Take it you've heard about the job, and I can tell from the look in your eyes that you're ready to give it a go. When you came back with the amethyst last time, I came to realize something. A true miner must be prepared to risk life and limb for their prize. Mining for jade at no less place than Haldras, March, and Coerthus would be the perfect way to put my conviction to the proof. I challenge you to another contest. First, to find 20 pieces of jade and deliver them to Adalberta is the winner. Superior miner by all objective measures. I don't think you're... This is level 40 quest. I don't think you're anywhere near done with me, sir. We still don't need that. Uh, 20 pieces for 1,000. Awesome. Done. It was cheaper than the previous step. What the fuck? I understand why Wide Gully is challenging you yet again. I know the temptation is to seek out victory whatever the cost, but winning isn't everything. Do what's right for you, Miku. Yeah, what's right for me is buying everything off the market board. By the 12, this is the jade, and such fine samples, too. Congratulations are in order. You've won the contest. By default, that is. Wide Gully never got his 20 pieces, you see. As he went about his work, he lowered his guard and was attacked by a fell fiend. His wounds are such that it was all he could do to run to safety. He's whole of body, but if somewhat worse for wear, he'd like to be out of the action for a while. But that's not the worst of it. More than the wounds you can see, I worry for his state of mind. He saw you as a rival to surpass, but he ended up losing in a contest he himself devised. It's the kind of disappointment is enough to break most people. Trust me, I know. But I pray that Wide Gully has the strength to get back on his feet and take up the pickaxe once more. It'd be a shame to lose one so gifted. Let's return to the matter before us, though. I wasn't exaggerating about the quality of his jade. Its purity and strength will allow you to see why it's thought of as the embodiment of immortality. Since ancient times, man has chosen to adorn his tools and garb with it. Imbuing yourself with the everlasting is certainly an attractive notion. And no one is more aware of that tradition than Wide Gully. It's for that reason that I intend to create for him a gift of jade. Stone bears my hopes that he will rise again, no matter how often the spitter might see fit to test him and bring him to his knees. Money, please. Level 45 quest. We have 2 left. Miku, I was hoping you can come by. I need your help with something. It concerns Wide Gully. He's recovered from his wounds and has resumed his mining for the guild. Wonderful news, to be sure, but one thing yet troubles me. You see, Wide Gully has been taking on far more tasks than a single man should. Some attribute his newfound fervor to the sting of losing that ill-conceived jade contest, but I suspect there's more to the tale. I tried to broach the subject with him, but he's as stubborn as an auroch, insisting that it's not but my imagination. But I know there's something, and where I failed, you might succeed. Strange though this may sound, you're the closest thing he has to a friend here. So I beg you, Miku, speak with Wide Gully and try to learn what ails him. Do what you can to ease his burdens. No doubt Adalberta sent you. She's been on me something fierce since I came back, but it doesn't matter why you're here, at whose request. Simple truth is I need your help. I've got a secret that would be sure to bring great shame on my family, but I need to tell someone, and I know that you're an honest sort. Ledgers at the concern have been tampered with, and I'm being credited for work I didn't do. Wasn't keen on believing it, but the culprit is my own father. I first suspected something was off when I received my last evaluation. I know that better than anyone what I do around here, and I knew I wasn't working that much. I looked over the concern's records of its dealings with the guild, and sure as day, I found some right damning evidence. I don't know whether to laugh or cry. I never wanted what I wanted it said that I had a leg up in the guild because I'm the vice foreman's son. If I was to succeed, I wanted it by my own hands. Learning that my old man was falsifying my accomplishments was like a punch to the gut. That's why I've been working so feverishly as of late. By fulfilling enough orders, I'm hoping to turn my father's lies into truths. But I've taken on more jobs than I've got hands to juggle them. So like I said, Adventurer, I need your help. I'd say I'm swallowing my pride to ask you this, but I've got no pride left. Whatever happens from here on out, I'm a miner first and foremost, and I just wanted to do my job. Right now, the order giving me the biggest headache is one for 20 chunks of Electrum ore. You can find the stuff south of Camp Bronze Lake over in Upper Lenosha. Please hurry, and thanks. Okay, we're actually gonna mine for this. Entirely because I'm convinced it's gonna be really easy to find. That and Miku's gill is looking a little low. Tremor, there it is. See, we got 10 out of that just doing that, so should be pretty easy. One, two. I'm gonna get a chunk of raw turquoise for the gathering log, and then waste the last one on Earth Shard. You got 20 chunks? Yeah, here you go. Please take this from me. Couldn't have minded better or myself. You've done me a great kindness. Gratitude rolls queerly off my lips, does it? Mayhap that's something that comes more natural with time. 'Twas only my pride that held it back before. And as I said, I've none of that left. I have to work harder than ever now to make my fictionalized accomplishments more than just ink on parchment. As of now, I'm a fraud, plain and simple. Not unlike this electrum, really. 'Tis impure stuff, gold mixed up with silver and other materials. What am I saying? This comparison ain't fair to the electrum. At least this alloy is worth some. Jesus Christ, dude. You see, when refined, electrum makes an opulent, whitish hue not seen in other metals. And there are certain things that can't be made without it, so it's prized by crafters. No, if I'm to liken myself to any metal, it'd have to be common brass. Stuff's pretty enough to look at when polished, but worth little and less. I had dreams of being special, just one of a kind miner everyone respected, but now I just... Enough of this burden. I hate myself as it is. No need to add being a whiny sop to my list of failings. You saved my hide today, Miku, and I'll find a way to repay that debt. Mark my words. Dude is having an evening. I am roller coastering him. Alright, here we go. Final quest. Miku, thank the gods you're here. It's Wide Gully. He's gone and filed a complaint against his father to the concern, citing abuse of power. He was forced Deep Canyon into a difficult position, to say the least, and though the two of us haven't exactly seen eye to eye of late, I still owe the man a great debt. I would go to him and offer what aid I could, but he's like to spurn even the attempt. I know full well how much I've already asked of you, but I would be eternally grateful if you'd lend Deep Canyon aid in my stead. To get started, it might be best to see what possessed his son to inform his own flesh and blood. You're at the Guildmaster's bidding again, huh? Well, I see no reason to tell you about the situation. You know most everything, any road. My old man is foisting dangerous jobs on the guild, forcing its members to risk life and limb for his own agenda. If that ain't the very definition of abuse, I don't know what is. You yourself were on the receiving end of this, I'm sure you recall. Kid or no, I couldn't stand by and watch my guildmates be used like pawns in his game, so I went to the concern's upper management and filed a complaint. He hasn't said a word to me since, but I'd have a guess that he might be willing to speak with you. You've certainly done your fair share for the guild. He's out by the entrance right now, in case you want to hear his side of the story. It's been some time, Miku. You're doubtless here, as regards my son's accusations. Well, it's just as he claims. Now, this ain't gonna spare me what's coming, but I had a reason for my actions. Vengeance. I was supposed to become the master of the Miners Guild. Everyone knew I had the best claim, but Adalberta robbed me of the honor. Me, the man who taught her knight everything she knows about the trade. She went behind my back and conspired with her predecessor, and then fancy who ended up being chosen to lead. By the way of payback, ever since I became vice foreman, I've striven to make Adalberta's life harder than trying to mine with a dull pickaxe. All those outrageous demands to make her look incompetent. At the same time, I went about ensuring my son was well placed to take over this guildmaster, and my plan was about to bear fruit too, until you came along and ruined it by being my son's better. By your expression, I take it you're doubtful of the tale. Well, you need only ask your dear guildmaster. She can vouch for everything I've said. This is it. This is the big drama this has been building up to. What? Deep Canyon believes that I cheated him out of becoming guildmaster? That's not it at all. I never aspired to this position. Gods, I was only an Alamegan refugee, working as hard as I could to get by. I never even dreamed that I could rise as I did, and I suspected even less that that it was that selfsame dedication to my work that would lead me to being chosen. If I had known that accepting the mantle would tear us apart, lamenting the past won't avail us. I know only that I wouldn't be where I am without the man. I can't allow this misunderstanding to cost Deep Canyon everything. I simply couldn't bear it. I'm not sure there's aught we can still do for him at this point, but we must try. Listen, Wide Gully is the one who filed the complaint. If you were to throw your own weight behind some of my concerns, then maybe he could yet do something. Please, Miku, it would mean so much. Oh, you. Adalberta wants me to help my old man. Truth be told, it ain't my wish see his career destroyed neither. I only want to teach him a lesson, make him know that he can't just use people for his own ends. But now that the concern knows, it's been taken out of my hands. In their eyes, my father's actions have jeopardized the relations with the Miners Guild, and nothing could be worse. So they've given him a test. If he's to remain vice foreman, he must prove that at the inquest that he still has the confidence of the guild. And they ain't interested in no words. They want hard evidence. That is to say, they're demanding someone from the guild show him loyalty by going and digging up 3 of the toughest damn chunks of ore there is, Darksteel. Problem is, he's got no allies in the guild on account of his own behavior. I certainly don't qualify for the task, being his son, and Adalberta can't do neither, because she's the bleeding guild master. That's just how it works. This leaves you, Miku. We don't have much time before the inquest begins, so you'll have to hurry. I wasn't exaggerating before. Darksteel's elusive as all hells, locating the snowy reaches of Kurthus and nowhere else. To actually find the stuff, you first need to use your Truth of the Mountains technique to locate unspoiled mineral deposits. Then, and God knows why, you'll have to survive a night in the cold for the deposits to reveal themselves. Finally, you dig and you pray. When you have enough chunks of Darksteel ore, take him to Adalberta. I'll make sure she knows what's going on. Yeah, so this is the first quest that's requiring us to find an unspoiled node. These are nightmarish. These things suck so bad. In order to get one, local time doesn't matter, server time doesn't matter, Eorzea time matters. Whatever time the game currently thinks it is, you have to wait for whatever time they think the Darksteel, or like whatever time the Darksteel chunk is programmed to spawn at, and then you have 3 minutes to gather it. And if you don't gather it, it fucks off for another 12 in-game hours, I think, which is about 36 minutes of real time. It's bad. Luckily, Darksteel ore isn't rare anymore. I don't know what gives it away these days. Like, I don't know, like, why it's so cheap. Maybe it's just not used for anything other than this quest. Wide Gully's told me all about the situation. Be sure you bring in the Darksteel ore as soon as you got it. Please. Here. Incredible, Miku. Your talents are truly boundless. Hopefully these will suffice to spare Deep Canyon. Let's make haste to the inquest. Wide Gully is already on his way. Oh, hey, it's those two! Well, you did a guild member, did you get a guild member to bring you the Darksteel ore? Because make no mistake, Deep Canyon, if you came here to this inquest empty-handed, we will end you. Your time in the concern will be just a memory. We have the ore right here, produced by Miku of the Miners Guild. Okay, why did it flashbang me? Also, that's only 1 chunk. I brought you 3. 12 be good, she isn't lying. This is Darksteel, and some of the finest I've ever seen. It's no ordinary miner who can find Darksteel, let alone stuff that looks this good. Seems your reputation is well earned. That said, we're hardly here to question your ability, though I find myself wondering as to your motives. Why did you bring the ore? Aye, I'd know the same. Why stick your neck out for him? He's given you nothing but trouble. What of the 7 hells are you trying to pull, Adalberta? I don't need anyone's pity, yours least of all. I'm not here to give you my pity, but to clear up the misunderstanding between us. Misunderstanding? Listen to me, Deep Canyon. I never wanted to become Guildmaster. The responsibility was thrust upon me, and there was naught to be done for it. Gods, when my name was being bandied about for the position, my first instinct was to take myself out of consideration. I spoke to the Guildmaster in private, as you say. But it wasn't to connive against you, it was to give up my claim. You expect me to believe that? If I had truly betrayed you back then, would I have bothered to come here? But if that's true, then everything I've done by the 12 to have taken it so far. You didn't want to admit defeat, Father. Adalberta beat you on her own merits. You knew this in your heart, but you refused to accept it. In your pride, you convinced yourself that she betrayed you, but by doing so, you only validated why you were passed over for the Guildmaster in the first place. Please, Father, let go of the past. Accept you were beaten, as I have with Miku, and let's start over. You have it in you to do so, Deep Canyon, to begin anew. I know of your love for mining more than anyone. You would be willing to try again, I promise you the Guild's full cooperation. Full cooperation? Are you sure about this? I wouldn't leave the past, or I would leave the past where it belongs. In the past, the Guild wants, the Guild wants only to look forward and continue working with the concern. Miku was the biggest victim in this whole affair, yet she's willing to give Deep Canyon another chance. She wouldn't have brought the Darksteel ore otherwise. That's well and good, but what about you? Can you really forget everything he's done? I can. Above all else, I miss my old friend and mentor. To get him back, I would forgive much and more. Adalberta? Well, I'm inclined to lay this matter to rest. Any objections, I say? You're satisfied, brother, and so am I. And it is settled. Vice Foreman Deep Canyon, by the request of the Miners Guild, you shall remain your present office at Amagina and Sons Mineral Concern. Through hard work, I trust that you will make amends for your past transgressions. I'm full glad that's over. Miku, I'd have a word with you in private. Would you mind returning to the guild with me? Oh, here we go. I asked you here so that I might thank you properly. Had you not been on hand to help, Deep Canyon's career would have ended prematurely and in disgrace. Worse, I might have lost my dear friend forever. I owe you a debt that I'll likely never be able to repay. But look at you. In no time at all, you've grown into a miner who can make the earth yield up even dark steel ore, the rarest of metals. There's nothing left for me to teach you. As an adventurer, you like to find yourself in all corners of the realm, but wherever the road takes you, I want you to practice our craft for the good of all. Go well, Miku, and may your toils never go unrewarded. Wow, these are locked to miner. Why? How do you go about getting the full set? It's crafting, isn't it? It's crafting. It's got to be crafting. I'm just going to craft myself a good set of generic gatherer's gear. We're not going to need much in the way of gathering stats, so... And that's it for miner. So that tool is worthless. Is it used in anything? No. What does it look like? Kinda bad. Sell that. 39, 30, yeah. Wait. Yeah. We can decent this. And we can sell all of these next time I'm at... Cost this. Next time I'm at, Summoning Bell. In fact, actually, that'll be in a couple seconds. They're in the quicksand, so... Another pretty successful Miku stream, if I do say so myself. Raw amethyst I can sell for like 300. Get some gil back out of it. 70, why not? Sell that for 400. Effervescent water we can sell like 150. This is like 200? This thing is like 5K. There. For the next time we do one of these, I will try to have everything prepared for it ahead of time. We're probably doing Botanist next. Just getting through all the Disciples of the Land first. That's it, though. That's all I've got for the evening. Yeah, next Miku stream will be next Sunday, I think. Yes. Yes, it'll be next Sunday. We'll be taking on the rest of the Crystal Tower raids, so that'll be fun. And we'll be starting the Inter-Society quest for Realm Reborn. I don't know if we'll finish it. I don't know how long it is. I've never done it before, so... and then we'll likely just be working on some more of these class quests and stuff I've got lined up for us to do. So again, very exciting stuff coming up. And after we're done with like our class quests and stuff, we'll be continuing the MSQ. Wild to think that we're getting to that point. Oh, and we'll be unlocking one of the trials as well. One of the ones we're missing. So yeah, things are starting to pick up on Miku, I think. Pace is starting to move. As for the next stream, that'll be, I don't know, Tuesday, Wednesday, perhaps Thursday. I'm kind of leaning towards Thursday, but we'll see. And that'll be more Pokemon. We'll be continuing Pokemon Scarlet. So, I don't know, look forward to that. That's all I got for the evening, though. There. That's all I got. All right. Yeah, I already did like my next stream announcement stuff, so we're good. We're good to just end it off. Again, thank you very much for watching, and yeah, have a great night, everybody.